All right, what's up, team? This is Justin. Thank you for joining us. This is the Ivy League live stream. Let me see. And it looks like we do. So, how you guys doing tonight? I hope you guys had a great day. Sorry about that. I hope you guys had a great day. Let me take a sip of water, coffee. Same difference, right? How you guys doing? I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. We're going to cover a couple different topics here. We're going to go over trades. If you find this information valuable, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, share this to someone that you think might want to join us live on the desk. We trade here on YouTube, Ivy League Trading, youtube.com, and 7:30 to 4. Gonna probably start coming on next week around 7 or so, a little bit earlier. Again, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. If you guys could hit the like button, subscribe, share this, that would be greatly appreciated. It takes a lot of work to do these things. It's just me. So thanks for joining us. Again, I hope you guys had a great day. If you didn't, go back and learn from what it is that you did wrong. Okay, why are you here? What is it that you want to get out of the markets? Think about those things. What are your expectations? Should you raise them? Should you lower them? Okay. So what I'm going to go over is I'm going to go over a trade that I took. Okay. And then how it ended. All right. And then I'm just going to go about how that went. One trade for me today. That trade was AMD. I had that on the. It was really my focus. It wasn't really my focus. I had two stocks. Or just had really two, maybe three. Yeah, just SPY, Carvana, and AMD. They were on my watch list. And I'll show you why. I'll show you why they were on my watch list. Some things I think you can take and start using to be able to better yourself, better your trading. All right, because maybe you don't think about these things daily. Because there's a lot that goes into the market that sometimes, especially if you're new, maybe you write it down. Maybe say I'm going to come in. If you don't know, now I know I follow them to an extent, but even then, even as a professional trader, you want to see where the dollar is. Okay, you want to see where yields are. Okay, because chances are, if the dollar has moved, there is a move in the market. And now dictating on what move that is would probably give you an idea on where the S&Ps, Qs, and Dow, IWM possibly are. Okay. Now it's important for that because, what if you wake up and there was some news overnight and you're like, oh my gosh, look at the SPY. It's way down or it's way up. Like, what happened? So just know too that if there is a big enough move overnight or even during the day, currencies usually will also move. That'll tell you the importance of an actual move that's, warranted. There's a reason behind it. We're going to go over Tesla and Nflx earnings, whatever you guys want to go over. If you guys have any questions for me, type them in chat. You got me here. So if there's a chart you want to go over, there's a stock you want to ask me about. If, you want to say, what are my thoughts on something? I'll give you my thoughts. And this is for informational purposes. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. A lot of the trades that we do take may not fit your risk tolerance, okay? But the goal here is to teach risk tolerance. Because it's important. You're not going to last if you don't have it. And I need you guys to understand that some days it's okay to not trade. It's not sometimes it's okay. Sometimes there's no trade, or you missed it, or whatever, what have you. It's going to go right into my trade. All right. So again, even if you guys have any constructive criticism about the lives, I'm trying to get some videos out. I thought about getting a haircut this afternoon, and that didn't happen because there's hardly no time. I said I got to be back for this live stream, get set up for that. So I went and got cat food and haven't even had dinner yet. And I'm like, where's the time? So maybe I got to utilize my time. I don't know. I'm just going and going and going. So again, it takes a lot of time to do this. So if you could, we're going to get into it. You find it valuable, find this information valuable, please hit the like, share, and subscribe. We are a new channel. It would be greatly appreciated because there's a lot of stuff out there that's junk. okay? And it's hard to find good quality stuff that actually works, that you could utilize and benefit yourself, your family, because the market is the greatest equalizer. It doesn't care what nationality you are. It doesn't care if you're broke, rich, poor, wealthy, whatever, you guys know what I mean. It doesn't care, okay? Price action is all. There's some things I want to get into today also. I'm going to run through these earnings real quick, not going too crazy on them. We'll just go over the basics on top line, bottom line, beat, miss, whatever, what have you, guidance. We're going to talk about Carvana. We're going to talk about AMD. We're going to get into the trades that I'm looking at for tomorrow. What do I expect to happen? And I will take questions too. So Colin, I hope you had a great day, my guy. It's good to see you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. So I'll give you guys a minute if you guys do want to type any questions or anything you have in chat while I run through this stuff real quick, and then we'll get to them. So again, if you don't know, I'm Justin. This is the Ivy League live stream. If you're new, if you're just seeing this for the first time, I've been trading for 6 years, 7 years, maybe 8. I stopped counting. It's around 2017, 2018. It seems like 2018 when I got into the markets. So this was my first real bear market that I've been in, and I feel as though, if you put in the work and you ask questions, like, you guys got to understand, you got to study. Like, you got to study charts, you got to come up with game plans, you got to come up with playbooks. If you don't know what they are, you can ask ChatGPT or Google, but there's all kinds of different playbooks that you can use, so you have a roadmap when you see something, and you can identify it. Okay, you can identify a chopped sideways market. I almost grabbed puts at the end of the close, but the thing is I forgot it. I was short today, and it was very hard to be short, and we're gonna get into that. So yeah, that's that. So what I'm getting at is I want you guys to learn a couple things. So please just bear with me. Give me a couple minutes. We're going to run through these earnings real quick. First, we got Tesla on the list. So what happened with Tesla? Tesla posted an all-time high quarterly revenue. This is from CNBC, by the way, written by Laura Colodny, at Laura Colodny. I probably said that wrong. So Tesla posted an all-time high quarterly revenue, but operating margin dropped to 9.6%. Operating margin dropped to 9.6%. Revenue from Tesla's core automotive businesses rose 46% year over year to $21.27 billion, $21.27 billion, about 6.5% increase sequentially. Okay. The cost of the development team was rose to $943 million from $771 million. They're growing. This is to be expected here. They're talking about, just the other day I heard real quick while I was like waking up, or it was in the middle of my sleep on Bloomberg, that they were opening up another plant in like Belgium or something. So there are costs. They are doing things. They're building mega factories, so that's more employees. That's, And I got to give it to Tesla. They're the top dog. They figured it out. They have a good quality product that works. And everyone else is second or last, really. I'm not even going to say second. It's Tesla or nothing. And matter of fact, if you don't have a Tesla, you're probably going to have to use Tesla things like the charging stations. I don't have an electric vehicle, but, they just, Elon and whoever else he works with, they put together a great team. You got to give it to them. All right, they got rockets, they got social media. I mean, they've put together a good, high quality team, and just as an individual, they've ran great businesses, and you got to respect them for that. Because that's one thing we all have to be thankful for in this country, is the innovation that we have and that we've been able to go about doing. A lot of other countries don't have this stuff. Okay, they have too many regulations, or they just don't, or there's a lot of behind the scene things where there isn't no money to do this. So with these type of individuals, and I would hope you would look up to them and go about the same thing, is like, what can you do for this world? How can you, we all have one life here. Let's get the most of it. Let's better someone else. That's my goal here, is to help better you. That is my goal. I feel like there was so long that I sat on the sidelines until I did this, just to help people, because I seen what was going on. Okay, I seen what was going on. So we trade live here Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. We stay for earnings calls and stuff. It's going to be coming up to a big week. We'll get into all that another day. So let's get into it back again with Tesla. I just wanted to say that real quick. Like, it's a lot of work, and they put together a great team, and they still are. They're one of the best companies to work for. It's an innovation company that has made it to that scale. I don't think we've seen it since Microsoft, Apple. Apple and Microsoft. What else is there? I can't think of one. Unless you guys can. So there's opportunity out there, and we got to remember to be thankful for that, So revenue, $24.93 billion versus an estimated $24.47 billion, according to Refinitiv. Refinitiv? I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize. So earnings, 91 cents per share adjusted versus 82 cents per share expected as Refinitiv. Okay. Net income, GAAP. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Something you should know. Just like beta, things like that, because that's going to help you with your portfolio. Your long term, your trading, you're going to know when the markets go. Like, what's the stock? I got some good stuff for you guys tonight. So I did not have a lot of time to get, into all this. You guys can read and go over vehicle deliveries. Now, this already came out, and I had mentioned that they already came out with delivery numbers. So the street was already got the number. It already came out about a week or two ago. We got the gap up from it. I don't know what Tesla's doing right this minute. Again, so revenue from Tesla's core automotive business rose 46% year over year to $21.27 billion. That's huge. Still growing. Okay. Total automotive revenues. Okay. What do we have here? $21.3 billion. Services and other, $2.2 billion. Energy generation plus storage, $1.5 billion. Okay, so they are still growing. I mean, they got Ford, General Motors at their knees with the charging stations. You got to give it to them. That's worth its weight in gold. Netflix, I was listening on here with these earnings. I don't really should have written it all down, but I just didn't have time. I had other stuff to do. I already know because of last quarter's for Netflix, and I'm going to pull these up on the charts, what all happened. And I'm going to have to go back, listen to the earnings call, do that sometime tomorrow during the day or whatever. Netflix added 5.9 million subscribers in the quarter and forecast a similar gain next quarter. They did raise guidance, I'm pretty sure. The company hardly mentions its flagged video games business at all in its shareholder note. Netflix boosts its yearly cash flow to an estimate of $5 billion. Okay. So, Netflix added 5.9 million subscribers in the quarter, a sign that its two primarily 2023 initiatives cracked down on password sharing and launching a cheaper $6.99 per month advertising tier, which I'm sure that brought in a lot as well, are bringing in new subscribers, of course. Netflix added 1.2 million subscribers in the United States and Canada in the quarter. It's the largest regional quarterly gain since 2021. So there you go. That's all we really need to know, is that they're getting more data, more individuals on their platform. Carvana CEO. Let's listen to this real quick because I have not listened to it, if you guys don't mind.
This small thing is the next big thing in diabetes. It shows your glucose.
But he was on with Kramer
predicts where it's headed
today,
just like that.
And I'm actually really curious to what he said. I think it's only about a minute long.
Simple diabetes management.
This is one of the great comeback stories of all time. But I think what the man realizes, you kind of got religion about what everybody was saying, which is it's not just good to grow 100% every year. It's time to make money. And you did it, and people think you couldn't do it. I'm giving you the floor to tell you how did you do it?
So I'll get into it 1 second.
Well, first of all, thank you. We appreciate the characterization as greatest comeback of all time. We'll take that all day long. But I think it's been a journey for sure, Jim. I think, for 8 years, we grew at about 100% per year. And, things seemed to come pretty easy to us. I promise if you were there, it was hard along the way then, too. But it sure looked from the outside like things were coming easy. And then I think 22 came and we were positioned for another huge year of growth, and car prices went up and interest rates went up and it got more expensive for our customers. And we were overextended and we had a lot of work to do to catch back up. I think in Q1 of last year, we had negative $360 million of EBITDA, which is not a good number. But in the last 15 months, we've been able to turn that around. We had 155 million positive this quarter. And that only happened because our customers love our model. And very importantly, a ton of people inside Carvana did a ton of amazing work over the last year and a half. And we've made a lot of progress. And so we couldn't be more grateful. We're excited to be coming back. And I think we got a lot more comeback in us.
All right. So what are we taking from that? They've changed things around. They got into some big issues, guys. People weren't getting their cars. They were getting loans and having to give the vehicles back because they didn't have the registration. They didn't have tags. It was a complete disaster. Everybody got an influx of money from the government, from the Fed. There was just money flowing. And maybe it was just, maybe they didn't expect it and weren't ready for it, but things just came on and it just was just a riot. The words I'm looking for, on these vehicles, and being able to take on the massive amount of inquiries and having the team set up in line as a manager in a business. And I want you guys to know this is what's really hard about all this stuff is being able to forecast those things and be ready for when the crowd comes screaming. All right. So they had a big mess on their hands. They really did. The stock is up 1,000%, but it's still down 80% from its highs. That speaks volumes, right? I know. So what do we potentially have coming up in the future? We have hard times. We're going to see how they do. We're going to see how, it's not even really how they do. It is in a way, but it's going to be how the consumer does. And how does the consumer, if the consumer, and we get this recession, whether it's in, whether it takes place in all sectors or it's just like, in different parts of the economy, how does it affect them? But I got to say, from what I read out this morning, that I think it was like a loss. We're just going to say $200 million. They were losing $200 million a quarter. They've brought that down to 50. Now, just that alone speaks volumes, at least to me. At least to me. So whatever he said, they must not have liked, or something's going on. Maybe it's just a pullback because, as you can see, we did get a little squeeze after hours. It tried to hold the level at that double top. Let's get into the charts. So, first, real quick, guys, I'm sorry. Let's go. What do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday, right? I think we have job numbers. We should. We have building permits. Do we have jobless claims tomorrow? I thought we should. Okay, 750. No, we don't. Wow, that's so weird. Housing starts building permit. Wow, that's so weird, guys. I thought maybe I read the thing wrong. I know we had it last week. I know we had non-farm, whatever it is. Initial jobless claims. There we go. Thursday. Today is what? Yeah, today's Thursday. Okay, so I was reading off of the wrong thing. So yes, we do have countless jobless claims tomorrow. Initial jobless claims. We'll get that number. We'll see what all happens there. If it affects the market, unless there's a major surprise, I don't think it's going to move the market that much because we're in the middle of earnings. First off, and tomorrow's going to come for some great opportunity, guys. You got to join us in chat tomorrow right here live, Ivy League Trading YouTube.com. Right here on YouTube, Ivy League Trading YouTube.com, and we're here live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, and we come up with our game plan, and we get, we answer questions, we go over trade ideas, all that good stuff. So we are set and ready, and we have an idea how we're going to play the news, the markets, all that good stuff, guys. And we've been doing dang good at it, and I'm very thankful. Since I've started here, we were the first on BABA, we were the first on Bitcoin, we were the first on oil, which we're still waiting for the bigger move on that, and we'll get to that down the road. I just think we need a little time. I do have another trade idea also that I'm watching, and I want you guys to know about it, but I think there's going to need to be a little bit of time. Now, again, we could have a surprise at any time with this data that comes out week to week. We could get comfortable. We could come into August and bang, uptick in like a big uptick in job numbers or something. It just could have something could happen out of the woodwork. Could be earnings, you know, maybe Walmart, Target, or something like something from somewhere we're not expecting. Whether it's a hedge fund, whether it's a bank, like. You know, so, all right, so let me go to the SPY real quick. The SPY was, you know, it traded sideways, and look at it. It waits to go after hours for it to sell off. I expected that. All right, I expected that. This morning, I almost took a short. I thought I was talking about it on stream. Again, you can join us live Monday through Friday. 7:30 to 4 right here on YouTube, ivyleaguetradingyoutube.com. So what we have here is a nice rally off the gate, and I'm like, wow, really? Okay, because I mentioned that I thought we had somewhat of a blow off top yesterday. Okay, because look, we just running and gunning. Earnings are good. Just about 10% of the S&P is reported. Bang, we're going. The banks are good. Companies are decent. There's still money to be had. Okay, we get Fed next week. All right, we get the Fed. We get a lot of stuff next week. Next week's going to be a big week. So I brought this up right here. I'm looking at this level. I'm like, hey, I think this is an opportunity to take it short. And then it kind of left me, and I'm like, I missed my entry. And it came back up. It gave me a second try. Guys, this happened so fast that I couldn't even really get it on. I couldn't get the position on, and it just fell out of bed. I didn't expect that. Now, this would have been luck. These contracts went 100%. All right, on this daily, they were dailies. All right, it was around 11 o'clock, so, you know, the premium's been sucked out of them, and bang. I'm like, you know, it happens. It is what it is. Wasn't able to get in. It just fell out of bed. Not sure. You know, it's just we're up at the point where people as in institutions and retail, they should and are taking profits. If you didn't catch the last night's live stream, you'll have to watch it, or it was actually from Monday. You can take a look at it. There's some selling going to be going on. Okay. Doesn't mean that it has to be hardcore, straight down, 2% down days. You know, you need a catalyst for that. We don't have a catalyst. All right. So after this and this reversal, I'm like, have fun trying to short the market. Have fun. All right. Now again, you could take it up here at highs. You can expect that your risk to rewards at its best when you're shorting up here. But where do you give it? You know, you'll have to go all the way back to the left from previous highs. All right, we're not too far from all-time highs, guys. So this thing would just sell off, and it would also take its time too on this one. Like these bounce backs probably hurt people that were scalping. You know, and I feel after this happened and we took it right back, I think anybody that is a veteran trader or has been around knows, like, hey, it ain't going to be easy shorting the market today. It's not. So here again, I thought about it and what it do. Off of this level here, it reversed. It gave you a small downtrend, boom. Rallied. You got to buy the dips. I mean, look at that. You know, if we go to a 3-minute, even 5-minute, like the volume was, I don't think the volume was that bad today, but it also was not, it was on the lighter side. It was decent, actually. So I had a feeling it was somewhat decent, and it was tough if you were trying to short the market. You buy the dip until you don't, because now everybody's saying that, and as long as they're saying it has to go down, it's going to go up. Okay, they're going to buy the dip. Let's go into Tesla real quick, see where Tesla's at. We'll run through and get our levels. I got a really good lesson for this AMD trade, guys. Stick through it. I'm trying to run through these real quick. It's going to give you useful advice that you can use and start thinking about and doing it while you're trading, because you need to know these things. It's going to help you stay in trades. It's going to help you, understand what's going on while you're in the trade. All right, and you'll be able to do things. It was on the watch list this morning. I went over my game plan. We had to change the game plan, and it hit our target. Stick to your levels. Okay, if you're new and don't know how to stick to your levels, come here. We can spend a little time, and we can teach you. All right, we can teach you all those things. And again, give it time, because the more time you have, the better you're going to get. So let's go to Tesla here on the daily down day. Daily down day. All right, guys. So what happened after hours? Apparently something was said in the earnings call that they didn't like. I think Elon said that they would be able to triple their revenue, or don't quote me, I may be wrong. He said something that they'd be able to grow triple or something like that. I have to listen to the earnings call. Tesla's earnings calls are so boring. It's like, and it's a lot of the same stuff you're going to hear. The unknown of the future. Okay, so we don't know what's going to happen with these rates and how it's going to affect the economy. So we're going to be looking to trade Tesla tomorrow. All right, this is a beautiful, beautiful setup here, guys. This is why I tried to tell you guys to wait, because you're going to get the liquidity. You're not, especially if you're playing options, you're not going to have you're not going to be paying a ton of premium just to be wiped out overnight, and you come back in and then you're down 50%. How do you expect to make money in the markets? You got to be real with yourself. If you're going to do these things, have a fundamental reason and know that you're probably still going to be wrong, and just try to play something that you know that you're not going to know. So let me rephrase that. But at least have a decent understanding of, like, that you're more than likely going to get movement because there's a catalyst, like Nflx and the strike that's going on with writers and stuff like that. Now that's a catalyst that can move the stock on the earnings. So you could play both ways. You could sell both ways and buy both ways. Do spreads, do condors. Like, there's different techniques and different things that you can do to benefit yourself and be able to capitalize off that high premium, because even if it moves in the direction, you've sold it. But you also have to learn to sell them right. You can sell it. It can still go against you, but you can still be green because they've paid so much premium, and then that overnight theta is just, and the volatility is not there because it's overnight. The theta just, you're still green on both positions. So it's got to make a decent big move that's not already priced in. If you don't know how to price an option in, let me know in the chat, so I can help you know how to be able to price an option in, and how do you know what the market is expecting the move to be. Just, if you don't know, throw it in chat, and then I will teach you that. Got to find out what they said in the earnings call. Again, I can go back to CNBC. So let's go to a daily. Where are we at? 27.9. 280. Let's go to the daily. All right, let's go to the daily. 279. It's probably right on that 9 EMA, if I had to guess. Wow, we're all the way down here. We broke it. So what are we going to do with Tesla? We got to see where Tesla opens up at. Okay, if you had puts on Tesla, good for you. I hope you're still able to make money, because this thing could bounce back. And then, even if it stays where it's at, you still might be out of money depending on what premium you paid. So remember that. It's important. Got a gap, somewhat of a gap fill here. All right, and that's around 262, and we're at 278, 280. I mean, 280. So that's still a good $12 move. And what do I say on a high volatile day? That's about what Tesla gives you. Gives you anywhere from $8 to $12. So we will come up. I'm gonna come up with that game plan when we get to tomorrow, because I don't know if this thing's going to gap back up over it. Let's say if it just opens here, I got to read the data first. If I am going to be short this thing, I will be short on pullbacks. Okay, I will be short on pullbacks. For instance, my first area is going to be right here, 280, 376, 284. I'm going to give it to 285 possibly. You know, you want to give it a little bit of room, because you don't want to get wicked out. All right, you don't want to get shaken out either. This will be our target. This will be our downside target. Where is... Okay, hold on. Boom, boom. Held it. Rejection. Okay, so... Let me see here. We have a... See, it's not even really a gap. We're going to go over Tesla tomorrow. I want to get into Carvana. I want to get into my trade real quick. So let's go to Nflx. Nflx. I think, look, Nflx is down. I got to go over these earnings, guys. I'll have to do some work and see what's going on. All right, this is going to help us get some... See, the thing is, I didn't grab puts on the SPY today to get them for overnight, because I didn't know what was going to happen with these earnings. You know, between IWM, Crown Castle, Alcoa, all that fun stuff. Tesla, Nflx, like... You know, you got to remember, when there's earnings like this, you got to watch holding positions overnight. They can go against you, because news will trump technical analysts every time. News is more important. Like the catalyst. The catalyst will always trump the technical charts. All right, as you can see, none of this. Look, you could have said there was support here. It hung around and said bye bye. So you do have a double bottom here. We're going to watch for this double bottom. That's going to be my first target. It wicked right down to it. So we're going to put this level up for Nflx. And the thing is, too, we're coming in. What's tomorrow, guys? Tomorrow's Thursday. And then we get Friday. So these options are going to be a lot cheaper. And they're going to move. If you've ever played Nflx, those options move and you can get paid. And you can get paid pretty damn quick. You can also lose and lose pretty damn quick. So manage your risk, as in... Whatever way, you got to dwindle your position, bring down the position size. You can still make a good amount when there's liquidity and there's going to be volume. We're going to get on the right side of that volume, guys. Let's go to Carvana. Carvana broke CVNA. So Carvana ended up breaking that level after hours, and I thought about trading it. So in the morning, I told members, I said, guys, we're going to watch Carvana, but we're not going to make a decision yet. All right. This was what I drew out at lunchtime before it put in the price action, as you could, because I was trying to show what I wanted to see. This is what I want to see if I'm going to take the long. And obviously it played out. It's damn near right there, guys. It was more on a 1 minute chart, not a 15-minute chart. You know, because I was actually just, because the candles were really small. You see how they're really small. So, first thing is first, in the pre-market, I said, let's get a pullback. I had this happened, and we were riding up. As we were riding up, I said, I want to pull back to here. I want to pull back to here. We came up, double top, boom. So this level here at $60 is 59. 59.60, okay? It's a big level. All right, we need to realize that it broke it after hours, but it also, you know, it's after hours. This is not market hours. There's not enough volume. All right, there's not enough volume to like really consider this support or really consider that a break. All right, you could also still get a gap up. It's still holding, guys. It's still trending. There's a big short position in this thing. So with that said, give me 1 second. So I told members today, all right, with this is a huge level, guys. It's a huge level. If I take you back to the daily, you're going to see a double top to the left right here. Look at this double top right there, guys. And you're going to see that the level that I have pretty much lines up right with it. That's where I put it. All right. It's right there. And that's right where we closed today. You see that? We wicked right to it. Now it's on the daily, so it might be a little off. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. And what do you know? You can't even really tell the difference. All right. So it's just a little bit under it. So mine was a little bit better. Let me get rid of that. All right. That was just the one that we put on. So this thing has been grinding higher and building bases. I said, let's let the stock play out. Let's see what it wants to do. Okay? We want to see this thing in order for us to be long. We need this thing to pull back. We need it to build a base. We need it to get the money in. Shorts can't bring it down. Okay? It builds a base. It's like a belly. I call it a belly. Right? And that's exactly what you got today. All right, I can bring up the 3-minute, I can bring up the 1-minute, whatever. The 1-minute shows it, okay? Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. See how it comes down? And then I said, literally, at this time, I'm like, this is what I want to see. Because I could notice it here. This trend right here is when I said, I want this thing to start going from this to that. I want it to change direction. It's going to the bottom right of the screen. I want it to start going to the right of the screen, top right of the screen. I want it to start building that base. All right. It did. We got a lot of volume, sell volume this morning on the 1-minute. You had 1 or 2 bars on the 3-minute that were green. I said, let's give it time. It put in a double bottom. First things first, it put in a double bottom here. So I gave this thing, I didn't even try to trade this thing today. I said, I'm going to give it time. I want to see this thing because I know, guys, listen. When you have a key technical resistance or support level, a big level like this $60, 58 level, $58. When you have a big resistance or support, unless there is a catalyst big enough to break it, stocks usually do not break them on the first try. Okay? Moving averages, all that stuff. On the daily, that is. Moving averages on the daily. I'm talking your 50s, your 200, your 100, whatever you use. So, if we know that we have this double top, big resistance level, okay, made it resistance in pre-market, I already know, okay, maybe we run up to it and then we see what we do. Maybe this thing just does take off. Maybe it does because it's not set in stone that, oh, it's got to hit it 2, 3 times and then go. It could just have no sellers and everybody's buying and you got a big short squeeze on your hands. So that's not the case. We didn't test it at all today, during market hours at least. You tested it pre-market. What I do like about this, though, is the fact that it held. Now, I do not know what he said on CNBC with Jim Cramer for this stock to break. But I do know. Remember how I tell you guys to read charts? Like, what do you see? What do you really see? I've seen a lot of selling. This could be people getting their money back. This could be people loading up shorts. This could be people that were long. From 2, 3, 4 weeks. We have been trading this stock for over a month, guys. If you're new here, members in chat know this has been our little go-to stock if we need something to trade. Along with AI. You don't even hear nobody talking about AI really anymore. So I said, let's build a base, and that's exactly what we did. All right. Tomorrow is Thursday. The options are going to be a lot cheaper. You're going to have a lot of this big move priced out of those options, which is going to help bring more money in. Okay, so you want to think about that. Whether he said something good or not. What happens tomorrow and even may happen Friday. I would not be surprised if it doesn't happen tomorrow, but it happens Friday. I think if I had to put my money on red or black, red being Thursday, black being Friday, it's on black. I think this thing goes on Friday because that's when you're going to have a ton of money. You're going to have weekly expired options that are going to expire, and they're going to be at a price where people can afford to load up on them, especially if it gives you somewhat of a move. If it's still sitting up here, you got to wait for it. It's coming. As long as it's sitting up here, there's no reason for this stock to be short, really, other than if they come out with a news piece, because it's holding these levels. It's grinding higher, it's putting in a base, and it's grinding higher. Putting in a base, grinding higher. The base is so important because it brings money in, but it also brings time. Time that the shorts have to start thinking about getting out, managing their risk. Maybe they get margin called. There could be very well be, and once that starts, we could get our blow off top. We haven't had a blow off top just yet. All right, we have not had a blow off top just yet. So what do I want to see for this tomorrow, guys? If we gap down, okay, depending on where we gap down, let's say we gap down to here. We're sitting right around today's highs. I'm going to see if they hold. I want to see if today's highs hold. All right. I could put it like right here. And you can see how it just about came to it. All right. I'm going to put it right here. All right. I want to see if we can hold this level right here. If we do. Now, if we do. Now, I am going to nibble on it long. I'm going to be buying the dips. Hopefully to see that, trying to hold for it. Yeah, that's the best thing to do, because what I'm trying to get at is especially if you're playing options, wait for that big increase in volume where you get a bar that just trumps it all. And what it is you have the wind at your back. You know, you get a big volume bar because a blow off top is going to bring this, just like AMC, GME, Tilray, Hertz. Like anytime, I don't know how long you guys been in the markets, anytime you get a blow, if we're going to get a blow off top, you're going to get Tesla to the downside was a blow off top to the downside. You know, you just had this massive just over exuberance, and it just lets go. It's just like a steam blower coming out of the exhaust on a train or something. It just boom, it just goes. Shorts are done. They're getting margin called. Buyers are buying. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And it happens, and it will happen. It might even get halted. It might. But what I'm getting at is if we're we're patient, like I said, fortunately, we were right, because I don't know what the market really, there were good numbers, and then we're coming into this, that, but it doesn't matter what we're coming into because we're worried about now. That's uncertainty. That's just hypothetical. You know, that's technically made up. It's not here, so we don't know if we're going to have a recession or not. But we do know how bad they messed up. I said, let's build a base. We're building. This is strength, guys. As long as it sits here, that puts time on the shorts where they can't handle sitting in it, and they start to see it curling up, holding the level, and what do you get? You get this. You get that. They knew. They said, let me get out right now. I'm ready to VWAP. They seen it. Higher lows, you're curling it up. Halt it, which is you get Game Dad. It's good to chat with you, man. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for the kind words. I did respond back to you, by the way. I greatly appreciate that, man. So what makes them halt it is that the NYSE, the NASDAQ, the station, there is so much order flow coming in that the market makers can't keep up, because a market maker's job is to bring a buyer and a seller and meet them. Okay, if Joe is coming in and he wants to buy 20,000, or let's just say not even Joe, let's just say a group, because it's like a group, whatever you're trading on. It could be the Amex, it could be anything. Let's say there's like 20,000 share, like just buy orders comes in for like 20, 30, let's say 100,000 share buy order. And then it's like you have, I don't know, shorts are getting scared. They got, 50,000 short orders coming in. And then some of them are already trying to get out because they don't want to get short. It's just, there's the market makers and the electronics and how they make a market, they can't keep up, and they have to pause it so that they can get that they can get an orderly market is what it is. They need to get it in an orderly market, because if you were trading over it was probably 3-6 months ago. Now, I want to say someone at a station, because there's different stations at the NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange. There's different stations where they have different baskets of stocks that they trade, okay? Maybe there's like Home Depot and Uber and blah, blah, blah. All these companies are here. And then over here, you got an Apple, you got Walmart, you got a Target, you got some companies we've never heard of. There's just like baskets of stocks that the market makers are in charge of for that day. That it was just a group of stocks that day when it opened, that whether the person didn't show up or there was problems electrically, you seen like these random stocks like Uber and just this random, and it was just a basket of stocks that it wasn't even like one sector, but they ran, and it was like there was not a market maker there tying sellers with buyers and keeping the candles like this. It's not like they physically keep them there, but it was just, you got just boom, boom, boom. And like if I go back to a daily chart, like it was one of the days where it was like out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure it was Uber. I can probably show you. And it did it in like 2 minutes. It did it in 2 minutes because you had the opening bell. So it was like, you know how it is on the opening bell where it's either buying or selling, and you just get, your big volume. And right here, you see this candle right here? This was it. It was in January. That's right. It was in January. Look at this candle, and it was right off the bell. I can't bring it up on a 5-minute. But that's 25 to 31. But this happened in like a minute or two. And they can't keep up with order flow. Like, that's not normal. That candle isn't normal, and you can tell there's something wrong there. That's the day that either a market maker didn't show up or didn't know he was assigned to these stocks, and there was just like a basket that wasn't being like having an orderly market where they get 100,000 sellers and this, that, and they match up so everything's equal, and you have an orderly market. You have an orderly market. I wish I could bring that up on like I'd like to go into like a 15-minute, because you would see that it happened right off of the bell, and it was just nuts. It's probably off of maybe right here. No, that wasn't it. Oh well, but anyway, that's their job, is to have an orderly market. And so you have a ton, and I'm talking, institutions along with retailers who's buying 20, 30,000 shares at a time. All right, at a time. I mean, they have like 20,000 that they want to offload or buy, and they'll buy like 1,000 at a time, 2,000 at a time. If you watch the level 2, you'll see orders that'll come in. It'll be like 4,000 buy order, and then like 1,200. So they're trying to like buy below VWAP and they sell above VWAP. All right. And whether this is like long-term stuff, like if they want to own it, not saying they want to own Carvana, but it could take them a month, 6 months to get into a position, depending on how big they want. And what they'll do is they'll just sit and buy below VWAP. They'll buy like 500 shares at a time, 1,000 shares at a time. If you watch level 2, you'll see it. And you don't know what's going on with the order. It could be a hedge. It could be, for the long term. We don't know. And it really doesn't matter. But you notice those things. And you'll say, okay, I got to buy right here at 1505. And they just keep coming in with 3,000, 4,000 shares, and they just eat it up every time. You'll notice that. And then you'll see those order, like if it goes to like 06, are they still there? You can see it on the level 2. And you can see the order start to come down. Like it'll be 5,000 and it'll be at 3,200, 2,000, 1,000. And you'll see, because it'll have the exchange on there that they're doing it from. So, like I said this morning, I don't know what the mind's made up. Now, he may have said something with Jim Cramer, but I said in chat, I said, at least for me, now this is what I do. I said, I'm going to wait. I want to see this break the level. Now, going back to the point, if we get a break of this level, we can be ready. If we're holding, we know we're buying. So you could even have like 5 options, 2 options, 1 option, whatever you trade. 10, 20, 50 options, whatever it is that you trade. You can wait for the break and the increase in volume, because you know, at least I know, and it's not certain, so I can't say we know, but there is a good chance once it goes, it's going like you got here. You don't have to like wait for these little choppy things to get chopped out because you have a ton of IV, implied volatility, baked into it. Because if implied volatility, so why is it high? Because the seller, for someone to sell that, they're taking a risk of it going higher than what they sold it to you for, and then they have to possibly give it to you at a loss. So they have to price in future movement. We don't know what that is. There's uncertainty. So if I want to sell calls, or if I want to sell calls, I'm like, man, I want to sell these $35 calls, right? Or $40 calls. When I know there's a double top to the left, the $60 level is not only a psychological $60 number, it's a psychological even 60 number. There's also a double top because it's like psychological flat $60 number. You'll start noticing those things. Like Grind, right? I don't know. There was an IPO for like Grind or whatever, like the app that does like for like dating. I don't know if it's for like, gay people or not, but it might be. It might also have like for gay and straight. I don't know. But it was funny because I said pre-market when this thing was going, I said, watch this thing go to 69 and the last of the orders go to 69 and that's it. And guess what? Where'd it go to? It went to like 70, 71, the last bit of orders. Because it's a psychological 69 with 69 with Grinder, it's, you know what I mean? It's for lesbian. It's for the that community. You know what I mean? So it was like a psychological 69 number, and they did. All the sell orders were sitting at 69. Kind of funny. So what I want you guys to do, or me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait. Now I did think to myself about tiering in, buying just a few shares at a time while we were starting to base here. And this, again, I drew this at lunchtime. It's damn near right there with it. This is what I wanted to see for me to be long. And we got it. We got it. This is right when I drew it. The stock was like right around here. Because on this bounce, I felt like it was just right here is where it was like curling itself from this way. And it was curling itself to like put in a higher low to kind of come up. And that kind of stuff, yeah, see, exactly. It was curling itself. And I can just tell with, when you guys get time in the market and just seeing charts and seeing stuff, like you'll start to notice. I'm sorry, because I have ADHD, all right? So I do apologize. The main thing I want to get across to you guys, whether you're buying shares or you're buying options, okay, is if you're buying options, tomorrow's Thursday and the Friday, just wait for that massive volume. Like, wait for the run. You're going to know. Because if this level breaks during market hours, you're going to get an influx of buying. Because there's shorts that are going to take their profit. Because if we go to the daily chart, where is the next level? Let's first find that out. Where's the next level? These are my levels. This is where I think it gets to. I think it gets down to this pivot low double bottom to be resistance. This is all resistance, but this is support. We've already went past all the supports. This is not support right here, guys. You have this, you have this. Let me zoom in. You have this here. You have this here as support, because once support breaks, it becomes resistance. Doesn't have to happen in like Carvana's case. But there's a good chance this $60 level breaks. This is my target. Let's do something. Let's do something real quick. If I had a move, this circle was our target, by the way, guys. We measured this move, and this is why the circle's there randomly, literally to the time and everything. That did not mean to do that. All right, but that circle was there before all this happened, because we measured the move, and I'm like, let's see if we can get it right around here. And it's there because we measured the move. So if I go to like an hourly chart, we need to know how far can we expect this to go. Now what you have here is a pennant. You had the breakout and you had the retest of the pennant, and then you had pre-market, which I had right here. Boom, the retest of that downtrend line. Because when you get pennants like this, if it's going to break up and out to the downside, it'll break out and it'll pull back to the downtrend line, as you can see here. Now, it went a little bit below it because it would shake people out. It's not going to be perfect. But you're going to see an intraday, like pennants, like usually if it's a clean breakout, you'll have volume. You'll have volume on the breakout. And we kind of have it, but we don't. I want to see a day like this for the breakout. We didn't get that. All right, we didn't get that because we didn't get that, though, because I don't know if traders knew that they were going to come out and say, hey, we're going to report earnings early. So it's like there wasn't really, if there was a big increase in volume here, you'd probably have the SEC and CNBC talking about an investigation that they knew that they were going to make the phone call that they were going to report earnings earlier if you had a massive amount of volume here. Because if we didn't, then chances are you'd have had this type of volume, all this green, once it broke out. That'll give you the wherewithal that the money is there, the buyers are there, and the buyers are in control for this downtrend to hold when it pulls back. Sometimes intraday you'll have a failed breakout, but you'll use volume to help you and other different things. We'll go through that as they come and we get failed breakouts. I will show you and I'll say, look guys, this is how we can kind of see it. The only thing I can say is this is the pennant. If I go to here, I just wonder if this is the move. So if I take this line that I have right here now, if I go to here real quick, it's probably going to take us right to the move. It did, but it didn't. It's not. So how do I measure this? The thing is this chart's, I can't measure it because they came out and said that they're doing earnings early. So there's not like a setup leading into earnings. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do I measure this here? I can, but that's just not a certainty. Like, because nobody really technically knew that this was the low here. So I'll just put it here, and we'll measure to this 42. We'll go. It turned around there. We'll measure that. It really went to here. Is this a psychological 44.59? Okay, yeah, we'll do that. So this, let's see if this takes us. Now I may have to just measure longer term because this is a longer term move. I don't know, but I do know where my support is, and my support is damn near up at 100. So do I go from today? This was the breakout. So look, so there you go. Like there's your breakout. See that? See how that lines right up? That was the move for the pennant. Okay, so do we just put in a big consolidation and then get the break? That's why I think it could take a day or two. But just keep it on watch, and we're going to watch the volume. The volume is going to tell. You're going to get, if we break this volume is going to be bigger than this. Like right here on this candle, this is an hourly candle, and you got 22 million shares traded in an hour right there. So I would it's going to be big. I can tell you that. It's going to be big if it goes. We're there, guys. I'm telling you. This level breaks and it holds. It's on to the races. I'm telling you, it is. So that's what I'm going to look for is if it's just holding up. I just want to see if this thing is just holding up like this, and maybe we pull back and test here. I'm not, maybe we test here and the shorts think they got something and buyers just still step in to buy it. Everybody has this on their list, guys. So every trader is going to be watching this. It's so nuts that this freaking circle went. Look at it. Look how it went right over it. It's like almost scary. It didn't hold pre-market. We just got to see what happens tomorrow. Do we get this type of price action? The longer we get this price action, I can tell you right now it's going to break. I don't know for sure right now. I want to show you guys an AMD trade. I'll talk more about Carvana. Let's see where it opens tomorrow. If we get a gap above this 58, 59, 60 level, we broke it. So we know we've already broken the level. Traders might break this thing tomorrow. They might. Or they might wait till Friday when the contracts are cheap and they just load up on calls, because then the market maker or even the person that's selling the calls, they have to buy the stock to hedge themselves. So if I sell calls, I want to make sure that I buy the shares so that if I have to give them back to you, I've collected the premium And I've hedged myself by buying the shares. So if I do get upside, I get the upside in the shares, the value of the shares. Okay. And that way, in case it goes past where, I sold it to you, I'm getting the gain on that. You know what I mean? So that's how market makers hedge. When they have a bunch of calls, they buy the stock to hedge themselves. Okay. And that's what happens. That's why you'll see calls, you'll get call sweeps and stuff like that, and it'll start rising, and they'll start coming out with higher numbers, which you'll probably see tomorrow with Carvana. It's holding, guys. Look, and it's still after hours. It's holding high a day. This is the price action you want to see. So if you are buying options, I would just nibble, just manage your risk. Either wait for the momentum to the up or downside, because the volume's going to show its face. We sold off today. This is what the market thought of it right there. This right here is what the market thought. They were selling. So I do have that in my mind. All right. At this level, the market, institutions are selling this thing. People that want their money back that are down 80, 90, almost 100% want whatever they can get because they're afraid they're not going to get it again. But again, psychologically, if the level breaks, the person also is going to say, man, I shouldn't have sold. It's going to go higher. It's going higher. So they wait to buy where they sold, and it goes higher. And then there's just a whole process with psychology that goes around buying and selling off of support and resistance. And when they break, when like resistance breaks and the person sells it and they look at the stock go further, they're like, damn, I should have held it because it went further. And then it pulls back, and then they buy it again to get the upside. Hopefully, it's just, there's a lot of psychology. And then it pulls back if they didn't sell, and they're like, man, I should have sold, and whatever. It's just, there's like a whole different thing of psychology between buying and selling and all that stuff with order flow and knowing that. So again, guys, let's wait for the momentum because we're going to get big volume. Everybody's watching this. Yeah, man, that's all good, man. It's just good. I'm just glad to have you, man. If you have any other questions tomorrow, whenever, give me a shout, man. I got you, buddy. Anything you want to know. Just thank you for joining us, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there that I've seen, and I've been doing this for almost 8 years. I stopped, it's like 6-7 years, almost 8 years. And there's just a lot of stuff out there that, it's just, where's the valuable information that you should use or that people need. So that's what we hope to provide. If I was not capable of being able to provide decent, reliable information and suggest some things that I do that may help you, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't come out here being a doomsdayer and giving you guys information and making myself look stupid. You know what I mean? If there's something I don't know, I will just say, I don't know. I can lead you to the person, so that does know. So as of right now, we got a high volume break off of the level, but we did not break pre-market. We are holding the high of the day on Carvana. So we're going to look to be buyers right here so far until it breaks. But I am not touching Carvana until I get that movement, or I feel that like that dip that I know for certain that I'm going to get that, that bounce is going to be there because I'm going to see it on level 2. I'm going to see it on time and sales. I'm going to see the order flow that tells me big sizes packing. We're going. It's on. And we'll be here live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4, if it happens tomorrow or if it happens Friday. The last time these two went, Carvana and AI and these type of stocks, it was on a Friday. We did it Friday into Monday. 2 weeks in a row. It's like it did it 1 week, then we took a week off, and then the following week, again, Thursday it started, Friday and Monday, boom, they went. So let's see if they do it Friday, guys. Let's just see. Let's see what happens. So let's go to AMD, guys. So I took a trade on AMD. So trade worked out. I didn't make any money. I lost a little bit of money today. But the trade worked out. Why did it work out? How did I lose a bit of money? What? How the hell does that happen? All right. Well, I guess the circles are there. So our plan in the morning was that I was a buyer here, and members can attest to this. Literally, as I'm going over AMD in the morning and giving my location of where like my final take profit is, this thing just starts running. And it's what they're doing. If you notice, AMD is starting to run literally like 9:15, 9 o'clock, they start running. Look here. Look at this pre-market. Boom, 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 boom. But that's not even half of it. Look at this. You got the rejection here. Boom, 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 boom. They take the trade. Started it there. You got a good piece of it. They left you a little bit of meat on the bone. You know, this is what we need to know. I'm going to get into two things with this trade that I want you guys to really focus on when you go looking at stocks. And if you plan on trading them, long or short, these are things that you need to know. You need to know these things. That way, you know, and you can help yourself during the trade. You know, you're going to see. I'll get into it. It's how you can keep yourself comfortable by knowing these things is what I'm getting at. They've been doing this just about, you know, you got it here, you got it here, you got it started here where it ran up and then went here. Look here. They sold it off prior to the market here. They did it here today. I've just noticed, look here. Boom, they ran it up. Took the trade. So a lot of it's been happening pre-market. I came in today and wanted to be long AMD. All right, first target's going to be this double top here. We have a double top right there, and it rejected it again. My target was up here, but this is my first target. This is a double top, major volume. Look at that volume, guys. It's so important. So you know what you got when you get up here. So you can say, I got a lot of sellers and buyers there. I got a lot of sellers because the stock obviously went down. It's an area of resistance that is struggling to get through. But what's AMD doing? It's doing the same thing that Carvana's doing. Now, we can say the stock is weak. Yes, it's weaker than some of the other semiconductors. That's true. But what is it doing? It had its sell-off. Bang. Now, this was a big profit for these shorts. If they have not taken profit or they continue to keep trying to short it, just like before the move happened with NVIDIA and AMD, when everybody was like, oh, it's overdone, and it just kept going and going and going and going. And then you had the AI news, and then it broke out even more. They keep telling themselves it's shortable. Is it overpriced? Maybe. It's $113. It's a big company. I have an AMD. I have a Ryzen 7. So what it's doing here, guys, what is it doing? So it sold off. It rallied. You had your short covering, people taking their profits. They try it again. They get short. Oh, my goodness. At that double bottom. All right. The double bottom is right here. At this price level of 112. 112 is the price level. I'm so sorry. So 112 is the price level. And I'm on a 15-minute chart. Good. All right. So. Come on. You're killing me now, God. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just do this the right way. All right, so let's do this. Boom, boom. If you guys are having trouble seeing it, just let me know. I will make sure to watch my mouse. Got the double bottom here. Sorry, it's up at 118. The double bottom's off of 118. Nope, it's not. It's even higher. Oh my goodness, this is killing me. Okay, well this is the double bottom that we were watching. I've been watching. That's been resistance. So you get the profit taking, which is this. You got a big $10, $15 move. People that are in puts are taking profits. Shorts are taking profits. People that know that they're doing that also buy on top of it because they want upside. As you can see right here. Boom, big upside. What is it doing? So what do we have here? We have 110.39, 110.40. Call it 110.50 on the dot. See that? 110.50 on the dot. Resistance. Boom, resistance. It breaks it, tries to hold it. It can't do it. You guys probably can't see this, so I'm just going to zoom this out so we can see it, and I'll bring it over because I want you guys to start. This is how I want you to start watching, like, price action. Okay, are the buyers stepping up, or the sellers stepping down? Like are they packing on? Like, are they bringing the stock down? It's at 70. They had a big sell. It gets back up to 70, and they just sit. Are they just sitting at 70, or is it bouncing back to 65 and then bang, it goes down? bounces back up to 60, bang, it gets down. Okay, that's what I mean by sellers stepping down and our buyers stepping up. So right here, support, boom, somewhat of a double bottom, somewhat. Okay, it breaks the resistance or support. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It tries to hold it. They take it pre-market. Funny. It pulls back. You get your bounce, and then bang. Sellers step down. It breaks the resistance. Now we know, okay, we're going to look for a bounce back to there to really make it resistance to go further down. So it bounces up, whatever, resistance. Okay, we get up to it, tries to do it, it gets up above it, and then again, resistance, bang. But they hang it. They just hang it there. It's breaking. All right, so what's it doing now? We're noticing it's starting to hold that level now. Now these sellers aren't here. They've either stepped away and have moved higher because they're like, okay, well, if they're going to bring it up, let me bring it up so I can get a better sell price. Okay? You get a double bottom put on it. So now it's holding. Let's go over. So we grind higher. Now we know the level. There's a double bottom to the left. There's your range. It held this right here, double bottom. It held what was resistance. Support again now, and it's turned resistance into support, double bottom. So you rally. You rally. I clicked it. Jesus Lordy. Anyway, so you rally. Bang. You get to the double bottom level, they really step in. And look, they took it right down to the level. See how easy it is to click this mouse? So, but what's it do? This was resistance at 110.50. Remember I told you, 110.50. It held. They tried to break it with some volume, right? I got to bring this up so you guys can see the volume. There we go. So 110.50 is now support. Again, it's not breaking anymore. So I'm noticing this. I'm like, okay, here, this is when it starts. After 1, 2, 3 tries, 110.50 is not breaking. They rally it up. Now the buyers are stepping up. Look here, 112.52, right? Resistance here, but it broke through it. Resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. Support, like it's making up because 112.50 is not necessarily in the picture, but it is. It's an area of a previous area where shorts took profits or got loaded back up on it. Okay, like right here, this was just a pivot high from the open of that day. Bang, that's where they really hit it hard. And what happens is, if you notice at this level, they really hit it home. They sold the shit out of it. So we go over now to where we just were, where we rallied, and then you would expect sellers here, but what? The seller or the buyers step up at 10.50. Bang, and then they take it through that 112 level. 112.50-ish, 112, yeah, 112.50. See how it's like 50 cents or a whole dollar? They bring it back down. They're trying again. Boom, buyers step back in. 10.50. 10.50. And now 12.50. We pull in up, we pull back, 114 buyers, boom. Okay, we go to pull back, boom, 115.39, bang, it's on. The shorts gave up there. They're like, buyers are stepping up. They're stepping up $1.50, $2 at a time throughout this week, throughout that time. So then we get to the level where they're really at, that double bottom to the left. Right? So you can expect people that are in calls are going to take profit. Because what is it? It is the base. If I take you to a daily chart, you're going to see to a T what I'm talking about. This is the base from here. You see this, how we put in the cup, and then they broke it. So you can see here, they curl it back around, resistance of this support. This was a consolidation. And what's AMD doing? It's consolidating, but it's moving higher. It's putting in higher lows. The buyers are stepping up. The sellers like sold the hell out of this thing, and they just either there's no more sellers, there's not as many sellers left as there are buyers, or the sellers are just stepped aside and they're like, I'm not going to sell this. I'm going to let it do what it's doing because I see it consolidating. And if things start to consolidate and it builds, it's going to build pressure and it's going to go, So, because you have people trying to fight the trend, and if they're short, they got to cover that which means they got to buy the stock back. So resistance, boom. This is what I'm trying to fight. Right here is the fight, guys. Now it's like, what are we doing? Are we going to hold this 117.50-ish, this area right here? That is your base. Look at the open from the gap up. That's where we're at, the gap up. So what we did is we put in a double top, came down, filled the gap from the gap up. We filled it. The gap held. That's what shorts are kind of getting. They're trying to short. They're trying to sell this thing, but the gap held. Then you had the rally, pull back. Now look, buyers are stepping up, guys. Boom. Look at it. Boom. Look how these candles are closing right here. All right. See how they're. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. The candles are closing at this area because it's an area that there's a reason when they close. Closing is important. It's not necessarily where it opens. It's about where they close it. So this was the fight. Look at that tail. Boom. You know, it was the top of the range where there was resistance. The resistance broke. It became support right there. Okay, you see, you had support. It bounced. Support. Tried to bounce. And then finally it broke. It was the top of this range right here. Now it looks a little different because, you know, you had a gap up, a gap up. That's the second gap up there. So it's just, you know, you have your bottom range right here. I wouldn't even worry about these two big candles. Yeah, it went up, but then it reversed. That right there is a story in and of itself. You had a big rally on low volume, and then they just completely reversed it the very next day. So do we get up to this 117.50 is my question. Let me go to like a half-hour chart. This is where it gets good. I came in the day wanting to be long. Let me get into these lessons, all right? I said I wanted to be long AMD because I'm noticing that 1050 was holding, then 1250. They're moving up. What AMD is doing is consolidating to the upside. The gap fill held on the daily. Now we're moving up. Now it's just this base from the prior U that's really being resistance. You break up, then they just pack on the size. But the longer AMD sits up here, they're going to run out of shares to sell. Or they can continue to try and short. But the minute these buyers come in, because the market's in an uptrend, AMD is a hot stock. You got long-term institutional people trying to buy this thing because they're not worried about now. They're worried about 5, 10, 15 years from now. All right, there is cash flow out of AMD. AMD is still a good company. We have put in a double top here again. So my idea today was to be short because what happened here? We sold it off. What happened? We immediately took it back. I don't remember what this was. What Tuesday, Monday? Today's Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So Monday. Remember Friday, guys? We broke out. Look at that candle to the upside. And then we reversed it. A lot of things pulled back. All right. This level right here, 115.26 is the level. So Friday, we sold back off. We reversed the morning move. It consolidates. It breaks. But in the same initial morning break of it, they reversed it. They reversed it right back up because the buyers are where? 112.50. They've stepped up. They've stepped up $1.50 or $2. Because they want it, you know? And then what happens? As it rallies, shorts are getting out. They're like, damn, 112.50 still holding. That's a level where buyers are at now. So it's not resistance anymore. It's just one. You know, it did it a few times. It's putting in higher lows. But in the meantime, it lets you know, like here, in the uptrend, that, hey, we're making this support. Just so you all know, we're setting our orders here, and this is where our max size orders are. Boom. We're not letting you get past here. Because the end game is, you know, higher lows. The market's going up, AMD's going to go up. The semiconductor is hot. So, we rally. We hold this 115.75, we break it, so we go up, obviously, and then we come back down. Okay, we're going to retest this whole level right here. All right, this whole level. Once was resistance. This 115 was also resistance back here. You can see it back here. See back there? I mean, I can even go back right here. It's where so you have a range. 117 to 110. There's a $7 range there. Well, as it's going up to 117, this is your support areas. You know, it kind of sits right here. You can see how it played with it. Boom, boom, boom. and it plays with it and then breaks. So anyway, today, all right, today I came in today. I said, I want to be long AMD because we have finally broke up to the top end of the range on the daily. We're up here now. All right. We held it. Like the buyers stepped up. See here, 112.50, we bought it. They were buyers. They rallied the heck out of this thing. We come through, we consolidate, we pull back. The buyers stepped up. 115.27 now. Now it's not 112.50. It's 115.50, 35, whatever. This is where the fight was. You can tell. Look how it was like just choppy as heck. They're fighting. And look at this. Look at this candle there. Look at this. They're like, boom, we're bringing it down. They're like, nope. See ya. And then they try again. And then the shorts just give up. They give up. That's what you're seeing. They let it go. They said, we're done. This level is obviously not breaking. It's support. 115.31 is obviously a level that we can't break. It's been prior support. These levels are choppy. That's why there's so many lines here. But the overall trend is higher lows. The overall trend was a break of support, but the gap fill held on the daily. All right. So today I said I wanted to be long AMD. Why did I want to be long? Because I knew when we held this level right here, this is the base, 117.50. I knew this number. We held it. So if I go to the daily and show you guys right here, see this level? This is a big level. We've made it back up to it. And what it is like we didn't pull up to it and then reject it. Pull up to it, reject it. We did once. Boom. We got through it and immediately rejected. We finally broke it and closed above it. You do not have a single candle that closes above it, which means it's held. Like that level is intact. Okay? You have a tail here. Where did it close? It closed below it, if you can see it. Let me just try and make it so you guys can see it. I know it's a little tough. I know I have a lot of lines on here, but I have to clean up. See how you went through it, immediately rejected, and it closed below it. We tailed down because you had this big tail. People are like going, yeah, I'm just going to go short. It tried to break back up to get back into that upper range. Couldn't do it, so they get short, but nope, buyers are stepping up. They bought it right back up. Again, pull back, bought it up, but we closed. We finally closed above it. We wicked down, and like with this, between this candle and this candle, we've finally done it. We have regained 117.50. What happens today? I noticed that. I said, guys, I want to be long AMD because this level is obviously now intact as support. But what do? They take it pre-market. This is where they're getting away with the stuff because they know nobody's going to buy it up here. And this is why we're getting this range. Okay? Our target to the downside was 115.50. 115.30 right here because we know this was prior day's low. We use prior day's low and prior day's close. What do I want to do real quick? This is the lesson I want you guys to know. All right, and then I'm going to show you my trade, why I got in and I got out and then I got back in. As a seasonal trader or somebody that's been doing this for a while, I wouldn't suggest you guys do this unless you know what you're doing. All right. Yesterday's close was obviously going to be the target because it's just a big level. How many times did I bring up 115.50? We went from 110.50 to 112, 112.50. Then we went to 115.50. So I know that area is a support level. So maybe tomorrow we either break and have a big downside and we get to 110, 112, or this level holds again and we start going to the upside. We'll see. Depends on the market. Because now I'm thinking the market's going to go down. So now I have to price in the S&P, the overall market going down. I'm not going to be bullish AMD because it's got this battle going on. It's not like Nvidia. It's not just going up and up and up and up and up. It's not that, it's not like an Nvidia. Nvidia is its own dog, What was I going to show you? Listen, guys, I want you guys to start knowing these things. Look at this, all right? This is going to be quick. I'm not going to take you guys up forever. I need you guys to notice and know ATR. If you don't know what ATR is, It is the average true range. Okay, so if I go to AMD and I just quickly want to do some math, I know high to low on the is, so I got 10 or 105 here. We're just going to say 105.60. We'll say 105.50, 108.80 to 109. So 106.50 to 109. So that's $3.50. All right, what do we have here? This is like a somewhat good, decent volatile day, pretty low, or it's got some pretty good volatile. It's not crazy, but they're like 103.50 to 108 or to 109. Okay, so that's $6. So we're gonna say $5. So right now, I've got a $4 to $5 ATR just on these two candles. Okay, what do we have here? Real quick, 115.67. Call it 115.50 to 120.60. So there's $5 right there. What did I say? We have about $4 or $5 range. All right. Took out the 50 cents. Well, I added back the 50 cents because it was in the 60s also. So there's a $5 range on just regular days. Now that's regular days. Now on a volatile day, what do we expect? We could probably expect close to 8 to 10, right? 117, 125. So that's 5, 6, 7. So $7. What do we have here? 122. Call it 123 to 132. What did I say? 123, right? Sorry, my mouse messed me up. 120. Yeah, 122.50 to 132. That's $10. 122. Sorry guys, it's late. 122.50. Yeah, to 132. So there's $10. So on a big day, when AMD's got big volume, big movement, you know you're going to get at least $8 to $9. So what do I get with that information? I know in the morning I don't have to just jump on a trade. Why is that? Because I know if it puts in $1 or $2. Let's say we got a massive volume, right? I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart and I come into the day and I wait 15 minutes, half hour. I'm waiting until 10 o'clock, right? I'm waiting until 10 o'clock. We got massive, look at this volume. And I can just pull up the chart and I'll put my line here and say, yeah, we got decent volume today. We should get about a $5 range, $6 range, roughly. Worst case, $4 from high to low. So we get a volume day like this or like this in the morning. I like this one because this shows you big volume. We get 2-point-some million shares in a 5-minute candle. Okay, I know I can at least get $8, $9. So what that means is I can wait a little bit, or once I see like decent volume, like once it pokes its head out, you're going to know within, this is a 5-minute candle, 5, 10, 15. You're going to know in the first 15 minutes of the day the type of volume, which is going to tell you the type of movement it's going to have. Now you get the direction right, you go with the trend. You'll say to yourself, even if I think I'm late on this, when it consolidates, like, oh, it's going to go down this. Listen, you got big buying volume, you're a buyer. And what do? You're going to sit there and you are going to go buy on the 9 EMA or VWAP. If you probably won't have a chance on those momentum days to buy on VWAP because VWAP's going to be nowhere in sight. It's going to blast through it and it's going to say, bye-bye. I'll see you at the end of the day or tomorrow, okay? What we don't see here, this yellow line is the 9 EMA. Now what's messing this up that I can't show, that's not showing you when it pulls back to it and bounces off, pulls back to it, bounces off, the order flow to it, is that because it's also pricing in all the other days. So it moves, it's taking all these different averaging prices. A lot of people don't realize that with time on like moving averages and stuff, you can predict or you can get a picture of what it's going to do in the future if you understand what it is and how it moves. Because what the moving averages do is it takes time and price. So if you see people with pre-market, you could ask them, why are you using pre-market with your, you say you want to be a buyer at the 9 EMA or VWAP, your VWAP is going to be off. Your 9 EMA is going to be off because you're adding more time and it prices it in. So it's going to adjust the line lower or higher, which is okay. Now, if there's news pre-markets when I want to use like pre-markets, it doesn't really matter because it's going to it'll be off a little bit. I'll usually use I don't want pre-market most of the time, which I do look because I want to know where the levels are. I want to know where high a day, low a day. Sometimes you guys will notice. You can join us Monday through Friday, 7:30. I believe trading youtube.com. You know that. So with that, I just wanted you guys to know ATR because it's important. Because if you get a move down here, right? I got this big move. Now I'm still willing to take the trade. Why? Because look at the volume, guys. I got 1.23 million shares traded on a 3-minute chart. I know I am damn, I got some decent volume today. I feel like I can get some movement because they've already moved this thing. Look and look at the size of the candles. You see the size of that? See the size of this? Look at these. See how small it is? That tells you something. You're going to notice these things over time. That what this is it's telling you you should get follow through before lunch. Like it's anticipating you should be able to get a move because the stock is moving freely. There's volume, there's action. You're in the right place. So don't get nervous that once it breaks, pull back and then goes. You probably still got another little leg left in it that you can take. You want to be taking profits as soon as if you enter and it goes your direction, take a piece off. And then be patient. Let's say right here, guys, when I entered, I knew from high to low, we had 121 and where were we? 118. So there's $3 there, 19, 20, 21. I got $3. I know on average I can get about $6 to $8 roughly. What did it do today? I don't even know. Probably 8 to 7, right? 121, 60, 68. So we could say 122. 122 to 115, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it moved $8. So I knew that we also had a gap up. It gapped up. I was watching this level. You see these tails here? I wanted to see. We have this level first here. This is the level that if we broke it, I am now short. Okay? They ripped it up, and I know the buyers aren't there. They're down here. The buyers are at 115. The buyers are at 115.50, not up here. They were here pre-market, but now that they've already ran it up, it's like if they step back in up here, 119. I have to look at the chart. I'm so sorry because there's so many levels with this thing at pre-market. Yeah, it was up here. I'm pretty sure it was right here. It was already up here because I know it was at 120 because it finally broke and went up above it. Because I said this morning I wanted to be long. Let me throw this on real quick, guys. And the level and the lesson I'm going to get into is really going to be helpful. Okay, so it was this one here. So it was 117.80. Right. I said I wanted to be long today. Because we did not break below this level 1. We regained it, held its support. It was still holding as support. And I could see it was wanting to curl up higher. Now the fact that it put in a double top again, right at the previous double top was like, so I wanted to catch a move down back to this area because this is where I know buyers are. This is the main level. 115. That's where buyers are. That's where the heavy volume buying is. So I got to change my plan. We start getting back. I expect the stock because it did not break further. It made this huge, massive move, and it's now rejecting on volume off the bell. I'm like, okay, well, I said the target was 115, but I'm like, I know those buyers are at 115. They're not here. They're going to let the sellers do their thing. The buyers have stepped away. They're going to let it come down to 115, and then they're going to step in and buy it, unless we have news or something. So the trade. My target was 115. So we got the down move. I'm watching it, and I'm watching Carvana too at the same time. So this is why I was a little late. I was watching Carvana, and then I got the whatchamacallit. I got the confirmation that I was looking for today was that let's see if it consolidates or if it breaks and then we just go. Okay. I got the confirmation that it was just going to consolidate today, and now I'm just going to wait, let Carvana do what it wants to do. It starts chopping to go different make higher highs and starts going. I'll be there. All right, I'm watching it. If it goes, and I know it's going to go, I'm going to be there and I'll be able to get in. And I'm not going to worry if it's already went a little bit without me because I know that's just the start of it. I'm going to be able to identify that. So I got in right here today, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, shit. So let me show you, why did I enter? Why did I enter? All right. Now, this is why they separate humans from trading and just use computers, okay? So I changed my plan. I said, now I'm short. Now I got to think about being short down to 115 because that's where the buyers are. So I took out my Fibonacci, and what I'm doing is I'm measuring my move, time and price. So I take it from the high and I go to the low right here. So as it goes down, I keep bringing the Fibonacci down, okay? Because this tells me if we go to the 23.6, the 38, maybe even the 50, we start getting past 50. Now I know this is not just profit take it from shorts. We get up here, we start like regaining the 60, we get up here, the plan's changed. This is obviously support now. Now I'm going to look for the bounce back to go long, because now this is not, the 23.6, the 32, and maybe even the 50, but more so the 23.6 and the 38.2. That is just profit taking from being short. Okay, it's just your pullback that's healthy to be able to extend more, which will grab more sellers in this case at those levels. See, again, the 9 EMA is messed up because we have more time because of the rest of the day. So it's technically not going to look like how I had it, because this line is now pricing in the end of the day. So it's going to move it. So what we had was VWAP, right? We had the first consolidation at this level right here, and it broke. Look at the volume. I was a little like, because I was using a 3-minute chart. We had this one bar here with volume, but a rejecting a VWAP. You rejected VWAP again. You could not get off. You could not get above VWAP. Again, I'm still realizing it's 9:42 in the morning. I'm still looking at Carvana, so I'm not like rushing to get into a trade. I need to know, what is the direction. Is this level going to hold today and we test that double top, or are we going to break it? Well, we broke it. On what? An increase in volume. It's not an increase, but it was just consistently heavy, right? I thought about the next move. This makes you think. This is why you just kind of like can't think, but you kind of just got to follow your instincts in your gut and what the chart's telling you, that this would make you think you might start to get buyers there. But I knew once we broke this level right here, we broke it and we extended. I'm like, because I seen the volume, and then I'm like, okay, it's a little bit lower, but we broke it. So I'm watching level 2, and I'm watching time and sales. I got in right here at yesterday's close. Okay, I seen the increase in volume. It wasn't on the green candle, it was on like this red candle. I got in like right around here. I had to bring up the time on my order book for you. But what I did is I got in because of the 9 EMA right here. The 9 EMA was also here too. So I was looking for a rejection off of the 9 EMA, and like I just got in, and I'm like, no. So I get in, and I'm like, it goes in, I'm like, what did I just do? All right, because I'm not perfect. I'm going to try to be for you guys, and I'm trying to be for myself, but at times the human element is going to come out. I got in. I'm like, I don't know why, but what did I do? I got the extension and said, and I said this live, I said, guys, I'm out. We're going to get a bounce back to that level. I want to be in at that level. If I don't get that level, the trade's not for me. I got out. Now, I was about flat, okay? Like as far as my profit. I lost like a little bit of money. It was like $15-20, but that was all commissions. It was all because of the commission and the spread, the way it worked out. I was actually profitable on the trade. The trade was green, but when I executed it, hurried up and got out, I market ordered out into the strength. Like on this tail, as it's extending to the close, I get out. I said, you know what? I'm out. This is the bottom because this is yesterday's close. We're going to bounce. You're going to get some buyers to step in. We're going to go retest VWAP. Do you see? Pay attention to this when you guys start entering it, and start trying to enter at VWAP and the 9 EMA along, and I'm going to get into where you should enter. But look at this gap, guys. You see that gap between VWAP and the, like, you know what I mean? It's going to pull back in. What are these moving averages? Why does it pull back? Why does it usually pull back? Because people that are short are taking profits on the extensions away. Okay, because you're getting the movement's bringing that premium up on the puts. Well, even if it's to the upside, the calls, when you get that massive movement away, the premium's shooting up, the shorts are taking profit. You got yesterday's close there. You get some covering, and then you get some buyers on top of it that were short from up here. So you get a pullback. And what does that allow? That allows us to retest this level that was support. They bring it back. And what does that do? That brings us right to... Wait, guys, this is what I did wrong. This is not what I did wrong, because that's where my Fibonacci... See, this isn't right. Because I had VWAP and everything else, like, and like when I... Right here at the 38.2 Fibonacci is where I entered. Man, I'd have to go into my brokerage and look, guys. I'm sorry. But I bought in and I got out because I said, look at that gap. I'm like, this is the bottom. Why am I buying puts here? Got out on the extension. Lost a little bit of money because of the spread and my commissions. The trade was green. I got out a little bit red. The pullback. Right here is where I want to be short. I want to be short at the rejection on this level. And I said this in chat, guys. Right here is the circle where I tried to get in. I didn't even try. I tried to get in. I'm going to tell you what happened. I tried to get in. What do I have? I have VWAP right here. Okay, I have VWAP, and I also have my 38.2 Fibonacci. So I have two indicators that are coming together. These indicators are places where institutions and even retailers that know will place orders to get in or out. The 9 EMA. Do you see how the 9 EMA, it gets to it, boom, rejects it. I don't want to do that. Now you get the separation, you get to it, and what happens? You see the tail? There's a tail there because they're still trying to bring it down, but we know that 115 is support. So this isn't a good one to use, okay? We had such a huge gap up is why this 9 EMA is also off. You know what I mean? You see how you consolidate. These short-term moving averages are places for you to take profit and enter. You want to enter at these areas. If it's to the downside, you let it go down. And when it pulls back into it, literally put your finger, your mouse, or your phone, whatever you use. If you have a momentum day like this, it comes down. You may not know 15 minutes, but I'm saying, when you to enter, wait for the pullback. Now, there's a difference between missing the move and it happening and then you coming in late. There's a difference there. You know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, 9:50. You know, I want to see this level reject. So what do? I'm damn near at VWAP. I'm short at this level. Why am I? Because that my risk, if we break up to here, so I'm going to give this 119.20, roughly 119.19. We'll say 119. We're just going to say 119, and we'll give this thing to like 119.50, maybe even 120. So we're going to give it $1 at 120 to get to 115. I'm risking $1 to get to 115. Okay? $1 to get to 115. That's a 1 to 5 risk to reward. But I know might not have to wait to 120 because if we just get a massive volume and we just break through VWAP, I'm going to be out in that extension. So I may not even have to wait for that to happen. But in chat, we could not break this level. We peaked our head above it, but we did not close above it here on this green candle. We rejected it. Now the volume was low. I was a little here. I'm like, all right, what's going to happen here? Are they going to step back in, sell this up? Like, are we going to break this level? Are we going to start thinking about being long or what? So I watch it and I'm in chat. I'm talking out loud, what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking. I've already entered and exited the trade because I entered wrong and I was able to get out without a scratch, without getting hurt. Because who's to say I might not get like a little emotional because I know ahead of time I got to sit through this pullback. Now I'm going to be red. I don't want to be red. And if I'm in options, in weekly options, who's to say that I sit through this red and it gets back down here that now my profit's off? You know, I just understand how options work because sometimes people will enter, it'll pull back, they'll hold it, and it'll get to where they entered and they're still red. Because you have to know how options work, and you need to use them when you have momentum, when that price is moving, because that premium's going to move. That is, and if you have to wait, take a day off, 2 days, if you don't see it, wait until you see it, and that's going to separate you from the rest of everyone else. And that's going to keep you profitable. That's going to make you money. That's going to put you on that vacation or get you a new down payment on a home, whatever it is separating yourself, putting your orders at the 9 EMA and exiting when it breaks down at like you got your target. We know on a nice volume day, we have about $8. We're going to say $6 to $7. We've went $3. We've gapped up. So this stock is still green and we're coming down. I should still have at least like 1% to 2% to go. There should be some movement in this. It was hard. Let's go back to where we entered, tried to enter. I tried to get in right here. Once we dip down, the volume's getting bigger. Look at the bounce back to the level, guys. Look at that volume. Look how low that volume is, guys, on the buy side. It's so low. That gave me confirmation. Look how low that bounce back to that level was. Look at that. The buyers are not there. The sellers are, there's no buyers there. The buyers are at 115. Okay, they might be sitting at yesterday's close just to get in some pieces, because institutions buy under VWAP and they sell above VWAP. We're under VWAP. Okay, on this rejection, that was all I needed. I said, guys, I'm getting short AMD. I'm taking my second entry. Where at? Right here when it popped off of this level, and I had VWAP meeting me there, just about my 38.2 as well. I used my phone for this one. I go to my brokerage. I have it up because I'm setting my screens up for the live and everything so I can do all my stuff on the computer. I've been doing it over here, but I have 4 different accounts. So I go to enter and it comes up limit order automatically. Sometimes I limit order, sometimes I don't. Like if I'm in a trade and I'm comfortable and I'm letting it go, I'll limit order out. I'll just set some targets. And then if I have to market order out, I will. I don't care because I'm catching momentum and I'm getting my 30, 40, 50, 60, 100%. From this trade here, guys, from this entry to here on this candle, they were 100%. And I'm also at the same time, while we're at this level, I'm watching the price of the options. I notice we were in the low 60s. We're at like 63, 62, 64-ish. We would get down to 57, or it was like 59, 58. We would hit 57, and then it would flip back to 62, 63. So I knew on that dip back down to the 59, 58, I could put my order in as it's dipping to then, which is this pullback to this level. And the 57, I think, was right here on this tail where it went through it and then quickly reversed. I entered. I tried to. I have to go to market order. Then I had to go put in the amount. But when I went to press whatever it was, that when I went to go to limit, like I went to hit limit order to be able to bring up the screen for market and limit order, it went to individual brokerage or something like that. I'm like, and then what do we get? What do we get? We got this god dang freaking huge candle. And then by the time I could get in, the contracts were at 90 some cents. They were at 90 some cents. That's 30 some cents more. And I could not justify, because if my target's 115, my risk is now, I'm just going to use here. It's 118, 40, 50 to 20. So now it's like 2 to 2. It's like, I wanted to be in right here. Once I smelled the rollover, everyone else did too. And I called it all out in chat. I said, guys, we're going to roll over. We got this bounce, low volume bounce rejection. I said, see if we can get as close as we can to VWAP. I start getting into my position on this candle though, because I'm also noticing 63 cents. We're going, like the bid is 63 cents and it's rolling down to 58 or 59 or 62, 61, 58. And then we hit 57 and it reverses. And I'm like, okay, bet. We get, and that's probably right here. So again, we go to this candle, we start getting down to the 50s. And I'm like, all right. And I went to hit limit order to put in my stuff. And then as I'm doing it, the stock just falls out of bed, guys. And then I'm like, I have to like go back then go forward to get in, put in a market order, give me 10 contracts. The options are at $90. They went from 65 cents was what it could have been your entry. You could have got 70. You could have got 57 because I was talking the whole way here. I said it. I said, guys, these things just hit 57 and bounced right off of it. That's your sign. Low 60s, high 59s. You get high 50s, take it. You know, I'm not telling you to take it, but that's what I'm doing. Okay? And then it falls out of bed, and by the time I could get in, I'm like, well, now I got to at least wait to see if I can get the VWAP, because I know we have the momentum. We just turned this level into rejection. Maybe I can get a scalp. Maybe I can get a scalp. Do you see what happens? We break the level, and it just stays there, guys. I never got to retest the 9 EMA to even get a scalp. You know, I was hoping for it to bounce back, and then by the time the 9 EMA caught up, we're already at our target, damn near at our target. I'm $2 away from the target, you know. Oh, this is still the morning, so I still had time. I guess I could have got in here. Now by then, I'm like, you know, the momentum is over. Do you see how the candles are getting smaller? You put in a little double top. The shorts have made some good money. Let me let my cat out. Ah, babies. So that was my day. Our target, I said if you guys are short, you know, the target's got to be 115. Just take your profits off on the way down. If you're in options and stuff, just take your profit. We smelled the rollover, guys, like a shark. I'm telling you, we were patient. We were able to be patient because, one, we watched the options. Two, we know we made a mistake here. We got in, because I got in at the 9 EMA here. You can see the rejection on a higher volume. You see how this candle's getting higher off the 9, and I'm like, I don't want to miss the trade. If it does extend again, like maybe it's just really weak. And you got this volume, you know, good thing I got out, and I'm like, I just come back to realization. I'm like, no, this is, I got this big separation away from VWAP. Like, it'll give me another shot. It'll give me another shot. I have all the timestamps. If you guys need it, I can always throw it in the comments for you and show you. I always try and show you guys my orders and everything. I was hoping, like, I started thinking, like, man, it was at 90 cents by the time I could get it, and I sat there and I watched these contracts go to 120 in literally a half hour, 15, like 20 minutes. When you got down here, they were at whatchamacallit, $1.20 when we were down here at this level. 100% in 2015, you know, 20 some minutes. Okay, I thought about short and spy too. So my point is why was I okay getting an entry here? Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm watching the options. I know I'm at my 38.2 fib. Okay, I know I'm at my 38.2 fib. Roughly. I'm waiting for VWAP to drop, because what happens is in these consolidations, you consolidate here, you're not going higher or lower. Well, VWAP is going to start pricing this in. And what's that do? That drops the VWAP down to it. As you can see, look, it goes sideways. It's dropping VWAP as it's consolidating. You know, it drops it, so we get close to it, boom. It could not break the level. You tried. You dipped below it. You retested it. You failed breakdown. Shake people out. It still can't break. Right, I swear, guys, right here is where we smelled it. And that volume bar right there gave it away. I said, guys, we're in. Start looking. These options, they just hit fit. They're at the low 60s. They go to the high 50s and they reverse. So that also helps. Helps seeing the high and low of the options. It really doesn't matter this early in the day. But just knowing the range, like when you break a level and you're coming back up, and you got VWAP, you got your 38.2, that you can get an idea for when the best time to enter those options are. And you can watch the chart and stuff, but you could literally just watch the options, you know, along. You don't have to like consistently, like, you don't have to like drive yourself crazy trying to watch level 2, time and sales, the levels, the options price. That's, you know, you just watch it as it's there, because you know you have downside. We've broken the level. We've turned it into resistance. The volume is increasing to the sell side. You get one small attempt to get through there. That was this was a beautiful setup because this volume gave it away, and it gave you time. It gave you time to enter. And I was upset about that, man, because I'm like, of course I go to hit limit order to bring up market order because I just went in. I'm like, yo, I just went in. I want these things. I get my chance again at 63, 62, 61. If it gives it to me, I'm in. The minute those options pull back, I'm buying. Because I know I'm at the bottom of the range. And I'll be damned if these things didn't go to $1.22, $1.25 when they got to this target. And that's the thing, is my risk to reward. I'm buying damn near at VWAP. Damn near at VWAP. And I have this level here. So even if we break and close this level, like depending on how we do it, you know, it's up here. But the probability is the buyers aren't there. They're at 115. All right, the sellers are at 120 something. The buyers are at 115. So what do we look for now? We got to see if the buyers start stepping up. But now we're going to run into a problem because I think tomorrow the market might be down. We might have a down day in the market. So change of plans. We'll have to go through. We'll see what we wake up to. I'll give you guys my ideas. I talk through the trades. I tried to take this. I didn't even try to take the SPY today because after losing on that trade, missing that one. Did I try? I did try to take a SPY short, I think. I did. No, I did. I did try to take the SPY short. I was using a 1 minute chart when we got there. Right here off of this level. It was back towards here. But I tried here, guys. This is where I tried to get short the SPY. Why did I do that? Well, in the morning we rallied off of the bell. Right? And I'm like, man, we're so overextended. And it's not the fact that I don't think the market can go up, because I think it can. I think the market just continues to go up until you get unemployment numbers or earnings, something to bring it down. Or start pricing in a lower number. We start putting in, like, it just feels like it's like, here we're not putting in newer highs. Like you wicked up above it, but it's like, you pretty much got a double top there. So what I did was I kind of just looked at it. Now I've been doing this for a long time, so these charts I kind of know them and levels. So what do you have here? Look at that. If I draw a line there, what do you see? I see a break, tries to hold as support, and then it breaks again. Okay, right here. This is a key area right here. Now when I'm doing SPY 1 minute stuff, I'm usually scalping, just trying to get my check for the week. Okay. So I know we've broken down here. This is the down move. We get a bounce back. All right, we broke above VWAP. We can't get above this level. All right, you've already got a wick there where they tried to just shoot it down and it got early. You know, shook them out. Then the move happened. But I'm like, there's resistance. And I said it here. And then it took off. And I'm like, well, there goes that. Because I want, like, if I'm scalping, I want to get my entries, like, because you guys got to try, you got to literally work, say, I want my entry perfect. If here's the level, it breaks it, I'm literally a seller right there at that level. And you wait for it to wick, and as it goes into it, you click the button or do whatever you do. Because you're going to get the best entry. When you go in, as that option price and the candle is going into the level, you want to be a buyer, because that's going to assure you, more times than not, you're going to be green as soon as you get filled, and I love that. I love it. I love when I get filled, and I'm specifically doing it into that strength or into the resistance, and bang, I get the reversal, and I'm green, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just take a piece off right there. I did not expect this. We got the reversal, and after we got the reversal, I'm like, have fun trying to short the SPY today, because it's going to go down. It's just going to flip right back on you. It's not a good day to trade the SPY. Then we got this. I said, you guys want me to keep talking? Like, it was funny because now I've left AMD. It's 11 o'clock or so. And I could not believe what we got. And again, these contracts went 100%. They went from 40 cents to 88, now almost 90 cents. In what is this? 1 minute. Literally in 3 minutes. I just watched the premiums. I'm like, whoa. Like, my eyes got big. They went just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, no shit. I didn't even see that in a bear market. You know? Not to say that we still aren't in or could have another leg of one, but so this happened. I'm like, what happened? Like, because I'm thinking, there had to be news or something. But I know that this little level's here. And you can see here how on the 1 minute wicks above it, closes below it, wicks above it, closes below it. You see how they just close at this level? So write this level down. This is a level you guys need to look at. This wick right on it. 456.16. Now you can't, guys. You guys don't believe me? Timestamp 10:55. What is it right here? It is 10:56. So go to my live stream, and I started at 7:38. See roughly what time I started, 8 o'clock. Go right around here. You'll see me talking about getting short the SPY. And then it happened. So you had to be ready, because I was actually, the reason why I wanted to be short here is because I could see with the chart, even without that leg, I could see going there that I want to be short right here. There's a flat top resistance right here. You guys might not be able to see it. You got to, it's just right here was like a level that I was watching, right where that line was. And then sure enough, we got the rejection off of it. And then it reversed back up to it. I'm like, this SPY is going to be choppy. It doesn't know what it wants to do. People are still buying the dip. There's still a lot of money out there. They're just going to buy every dip that they can. And we haven't been getting those big blocks of like sell orders where it triggers this like all those just, and it just knocks all those sell orders out. Because there's sell orders placed, and that's when you get those where it runs through. It's ripping through all those orders that they're trying to get out because they have them placed. And as it knocks it out, boom, 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 and they get filled, and then you get stuff like that. We haven't had that in weeks. So I haven't seen that type of price action. And I'm like, oh, of course. I bring up short in the SPY. I get my bounce back. And then not only does it come down, it literally puts in the whole morning's worth in one minute candle. This candle alone on the 1 minute is from 455.16 to 455.19 or 91. That's a $2.50 candle on a 1 minute. So, but that's all I got right now, guys. I want you guys to just remember and write it down. Write down ATR. So if you have stocks in the morning that you're watching, Tesla. Like, I don't even have to look at Tesla, I know. On a regular day, Tesla is going to give me, on a low volume day, a low volatile day, it's going to give me about $5, $4 or $5, maybe $6. On a high volatile day, I got volume, I know I'm getting $8 to $12. So I know that going in. If I get a gap up, we're kind of red, or we're green, and then we're getting pullbacks. I already know, I'm like, that I'll also use the percentage. As in, if you have a gap up or a gap down, let's say if you want to go long and you have a gap down, you start coming up, you make like a $2, $3 move. You're like, okay, the stock's flat. If we're going to close green, we should close around 1%, 2%, 3%, depending on what stock it is. So you can also use that to reassure you that when you buy that dip, the probabilities of you getting a good long trade, okay, is there. Well, you also have to use your risk to reward. That's why you want to buy pullbacks. Because if it's going to close green, it's not just, it could close flat. It could, but stocks don't, I don't even think I've seen a stock close flat. It's usually like within at least I'm talking an individual stock, like a Meta, a Tesla, CRM, you know what I mean? So using percentages will help, because if it's going to have a green day, what is the average green days? Are they 2.5%, 3%, 4%? 1.5%. So if it's red and it's going to have a good strength day, like an upside day, those are the best days, because you're going to go through that red and then you're going to get all that green, which is a massive up day. It's going to show up. It was only up 2% today, but really the damn thing moved 5-6%. 4 or 5%. It was down 1.5% when it opened at the bell, 2% even, and then it closes 1.5%, 3%. So there's good movement there if you guys start thinking of stuff like that. Okay, like Tesla or the SPY. The SPY gapped up, and that's why it's like if the SPY's gapping up, it's already green. It's already green, and you're getting maybe what? 0.7%. If you gapped up and you're already 0.25% green, you've only got 0.25 to you got 0.25% to 0.5% move. That's not a trading day, unless you get news to really sell down. So I want you guys to use that, and I'll talk more about it as we go, and I use it as I trade, and those are the days that I like when you have that percentage factor that's there. And you'll learn these things as you go down your trading road, you'll start being able to use those type of things. Like you'll just know. You'll say, all right, this thing is still, it's only up 0.1%. It's got some strength. It should close at least 1.5%, 2%, maybe 1%. You can use the dollars, whether you got like $2, $3, $4 left, or you could use a percentage. You could say, the probability of me getting 1% out of this, when the average is around 1.5%, 1.75%, and we are like 0.10. So I got that little bit of room, and then to go green, I'll get 1% move out of this. That's when you look for a few dollars, and it'll change your trading. Come join us. I do that. Those are how I use my levels. I use my risk to reward, and then as I've made my decision on what I'm going to do when I see the movement, the momentum, I'm using the option prices to try and get the best price. So when I enter, I'm green. Now, it's not going to work every time, but you're going to put yourself on the right side of probability by doing that. That is putting in the work as far as buying on the 9 EMA, whether it's to go short or to go long. Buying because you have 38.2, you have a 9 EMA, they both meet up, and watch the charts. What do? The orders are at VWAP on the SPY, right? Right here in the morning, orders are at VWAP. Look at the 9 EMA. It doesn't just bounce off of it for no reason. It's bouncing off of it and pulling back to it because this is where they place, institutionals use this indicators as a place to place orders and to exit orders. So it's important to know these things. And then you get the big gap away from it. See how there's a big gap? It's time to take your profit because it's going to pull back to it. And then it's going to bring in new buyers and then to see if you get an extension. And you tried that. Look at these tails here. They're buying, they're setting their orders in front of it. Okay? And here, when you get consolidations, it doesn't work because it's consolidating. These are short-term moving averages, and these are meant for momentum trades. This is momentum. Carvana is going to be momentum. And when we get it, we're going to get that pullback to the 9 EMA, and I'm smashing it, whether it's to the long side or to the short side. We're going to be patient because it's going to come. Look at VWAP. They were buyers at VWAP prior, but it consolidates like there's nothing here. This is not trading. Look how VWAP is nothing. It's nothing paying attention to it because it's trading sideways. These are momentum indicators. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. If you guys do have any questions, you know what I mean, you can throw them in the chat. But I'm gonna get some sleep so I can be prepared for tomorrow. I wanna watch Tesla, Netflix, Carvana, maybe even AMD. AMD had a decent move today, so it may not be in play tomorrow. We can always watch NVIDIA. I was watching NVIDIA a little bit today, but we'll see. It was kind of choppy. You know, there was some downside on NVIDIA, and I thought about it. And then after the move back up like this, I'm like, yeah, SPY's trading sideways, NVIDIA's trading sideways. AMD, I just felt like it was going to give it to me. AMD gave it to me for the percentage reasons I just told you about. Because when it opened, like not opened, but like pre-market, when it rallied, that was about break even. So it rallied 1.5% to the level pre-market. So now for it to go red, you opened up 1.5% higher, okay? And now you're going to close 1.5% higher or lower. That's 2-3% movement there. So that's why you got it. I want you to take that and say, all right, I've got the direction. I'm not late. I'm okay paying up for it because this is the direction. This is the way the water's flowing. This is where I'm going. You swim with the fishes. Okay? You just don't want to do it upstream. You don't want to swim like the fish where they go upstream and they get eaten by a bear. Just go with the water. Put the boat in the water. Just go with the tide. Okay? Let the tide take you. And if you want to get in, wait for the pullbacks and literally when it hits that 9 EMA, and it might tail. It might just put in a little tail. But they usually always close at it. Or open at it. You know what I mean? It'll close right at it. That way it'll start the new one. Because that's what institutional and pro traders are doing. Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, that's what they're doing. They're setting that computer to buy on 9 EMA. To buy off of VWAP. Sell below it. Or if they're buying, then they're buying below it. They want that circle, like this gap. They want that further gap when it extends away from it. They want to buy. Okay? And then as it goes and it's up away from VWAP, they're not selling for years though, so I can't even say that. But if they did want to sell, they want to sell on high up days and stuff like that. So those are some things that can help you guys. I'm serious. It will help you because it will take away the fact that you might talk yourself out of the trade because you think it went too far. And that's all I'm trying to help you with there, is that was the lesson. Oh, and there was a tape lesson too on the break through the level though. I'll go into that another day. Maybe I'll get a recording of the tape if I could. That was the other big level, was that when it found support at the level right here, guys, when it broke here, this told me that it was going to break because the level 2 or the time in sales did not have any big green stack. There was no buyers at all. The level 2 was just packed red at this level. They weren't trying to have a double bottom boom. And I said, guys, this level is going to break. It did it afterwards. And then I'm like, guys, the time in sales told us. I said, if you watch the time in sales, which I have it on my screen so you guys can watch it, just pay attention to the color. Pay attention to the color. It was all red throughout, just big red order, just boom. Like the whole thing was filled red. And then there was just like little pieces of green in there. That was an inclination that we could have held the trade because there was no buyers stepping in. There were no buyers in there. You know, the little bit that was there was probably people going short. Again, where are they? They're at 115. We know that. Buy at 115. We're selling at 120 so far until one of them breaks. That's what we're doing. You guys have a great night. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope that helped. I'd like to get a video recap of some of that stuff, so I'm going to try and set up a recorder for that because it's important to watch when these things like today, when AMD got to this level, for you to see the time in sales and what it looked like and what the stock did and how it told you you're okay to hold it. There's no buyers coming in, okay? There's no buyers coming in. So those things come with time, and if you don't take time to read like the level 2, whether it's on your phone, and just sit there for an hour with the SPY would be the best thing to do it because the spreads are tight. Just watch the ask or watch the bid. Just watch it and it'll paint the picture for you. And I'm telling you, 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, you're like, yeah, 1647, we get back down here, it's probably going to just bounce right back off of it because that's what it's been doing. So 1647 is a big buy order that's getting filled with buys, and it's bouncing off of there. They're hitting the bid and they're going. And it doesn't even take to be an experienced trader. You'll just notice in the speed that it does it. It'll go to 155, 154, 153, 147, boom, 155. And it'll just go to it, and it'll just flip like from 147 to 149. You know what I mean? That's telling you how that's a major level of support. There's orders there, and there's a ton of orders there that it's just getting filled, and the bids are coming up there. There's a lot of orders in that area. So things like that. You guys got to take time to read the level 2 because what it does is it paints the picture. And it's important to paint the picture because if you've got the picture painted, you're not worried about should I sell, should I buy, what should I do, what's going on, is this a double bottom? Well, if it goes here, it does that. The wondering. It takes the wondering out of it, and that's how it can help you make trading easier. To stay in trades, to take trades, things like that. So I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I hope this video was helpful. Again, we'll be live tomorrow morning. I have a few trade ideas. We're going to see where we open up tomorrow. Let's see where we open up. If the SPY gives us a gap down, I'm going to be frustrated. The reason I did not take a longer term SPY put is because I did not want to sit through the sideways action and get caught and just drain premium. Because if it's not moving in a direction up or down, I don't want to be in it. If it's going sideways, I'm a seller. I'm not a buyer. I'm selling premium. I'm not buying premium to be able to sell it at a higher price. I'm just going to sell it because it's going to get the premium's going to get ate up. So that's why I did not get look here, guys. You went all the way down and it just reversed it all the way. And that's why I said have fun trying to short the SPY. You got to be long until it tells you not to. And of course, and I knew this, that we were probably going to have a gap down, and I did not do it at the bell or up here or here at close, is because we had Tesla and Nflx earnings. That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't buy it. And I know because the market's like topping out. It's putting in a topping pattern. When you start to see a long rally and it puts in the sideways action, usually it's going to float down. It's going to revert back to the mean. That's what that's telling you, that the buying is exhausted. The sellers are now stepping in and taking control. You guys have a great night. Join us live Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4. Ivy League Trading, YouTube.com. We're working on a lot of things here. I got some videos I'm going to put out. Just some, 10, 15 minute videos that you can use to get your entries, to know how to read level 2, to be a professional trader, and just know if you do those things, you're going to separate yourself from the pack. I assure you. It's not just buying breaks and retests. It's not just buying ABCD patterns. There's more to it. Because what it is these other things give you confirmation, and you can make, this is how you make your winners bigger than your losers. This is how you actually make money doing this. Is doing using all of these things and understanding what it is that they are and how they really help you. Knowing that if there's a gap down and you got a lot of buy volume, you should at least, in order, you're going to go green, and not only are you going to go green, you're probably going to close green 1-2% on a stock. So you got 3-4% of a movement. So you have room, and it's not too late to get in. You found the direction, you were patient, you see the direction's up, you buy, you go up, and you take pieces off. Don't think about it too much. Just say, hey, we're red. We got a lot of buy volume. This stock usually on average will close. It doesn't even matter. It's like it'll close 1%. Even if it closes 1%, you still got 2%. 1% to get to even, and then from get to 0 to 1%. So use those things. And use those things, and they'll help you guys. And just, you have any questions, you can join us on the desk live. Again, you know where to find us, ivyleaguetrading.com. You guys have a great night. We'll go over the news. We'll see what we wake up to. Go over the news. We'll come up with our trading plan, where we're going to be long, where we're taking profit, where we're selling. I do all that before I take the trades, guys. I do. Just like AMD, I said, change of plans. We're not long AMD anymore. We're a seller. That trade's been taken away. So, and it was at a place where there were sellers. So the sellers stepped in. You guys have a great night. Sorry, I know I've said it 20 times, but thanks for joining us. Trying to get to 100 subscribers. If you could, like, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciated. And if you need help, don't be too shy to ask a question. You guys have a great night. I will see you all in the morning. And if you guys leave a comment, I will get back to you on the recordings or whatever. So you can leave a comment right down in the script or wherever it's at the bottom, and I will read it, and I will get back to you and try and help you with whatever I can. Have a great night, everybody. We appreciate it.